The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the beginning, the Maker formed the angels of the dawn, whose purpose was to carry the will of the Maker with creation. Humankind was our highest, finest, and ultimate creation.
We were commanded to love you as we love the Maker, but ordered to hide ourselves from you. When forced to choose between those two commandments, we chose love. The simple act of revealing ourselves to you was our undoing.
Our love of you led to revolution in the heavens. The merest caress of God's wrath was sufficient to rend the spheres asunder, leaving the world a bruised and battered husk of what was once paradise.
The first murder was man, and our noble warfare turned catastrophic. Thus began the time of atrocities. We ruled the world for countless ages, slaughtering the heavenly host and pulling down their prisons of stone and iron.
But in the end, it all came to naught. The race of Adam and Eve buckled from the weight of revelation and turned their backs to us. With the war lost, we expected destruction.
But the Almighty had a far more terrible fate in store. He condemned us to darkness eternal, an endless, empty existence devoid of purpose. In the end, our sacrifice was forgotten because history is always written by the victors.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Demon the Fallen. You all just missed a discussion about the sex store. I guess that's an interesting way for you all to miss it, but it was fun for us, just saying. Of course, I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
I am Synthrazial, the devil, and I possessed Vivian Ash.
I am Arazeth the Scourge, and I possessed Virginia Waugh.
I am Carsador the Malefactor, and I possessed Clark Miller.
I am Nibas the Fiend, and I possessed Alice Elizabeth.
I am Trimdesiel the Defiler, and I possessed Kathleen Stone.
I am Juliriel the Slayer, and I possessed Michelle Mars Porter.
And when we were last with this choir of fallen angels, they had a little bit of downtime, and they used it to try to, I would say relax, but I don't think that's quite what ended up happening for everybody here, because each one of them, except for Vivian, who was strangely absent, had a little bit more than relaxation going on. And as we open up with this episode tonight, it's actually been only a day or two since that last events, because everyone has day jobs and things they have to do. But as we open up with this one, we open the scene to a demonic cell phone conversation where they have all spoken or speaking to each other through the power of, well, being a fallen.
I have some information regarding some of the disappearances. One of my friends was able to get some background information. I can't make heads or tails of it, though. Y'all might be able to help.
Where should we meet? Where do we want to meet?
My kids aren't home. You can come to my place.
You live in what part of Chicago again?
Lincoln Park.
Right. I guess we'll meet you there then.
Works for me.
Sure.
I'll
So
be
as
there. What time would you prefer?
I imagine it's morning, so anytime I'll put on some coffee.
So as you head out, everyone goes to go over to Virginia's house. I know that Vivian wanted to speak with Kathleen prior to it. So as the rest of the group is heading that way, I'm going to let Vivian have her talk with Kathleen during the trip. Well, not the trip together, but while they're both in their own ways getting there.
Hey, Trimdezio.
Yes, Anthrazio.
You mind if I talk to you for a sec? And just
Of course.
I've not been doing great the last few days. How do you deal with it?
Deal with what exactly? Apologies. Psychiatry doesn't come with a mind reading ability, so that was a joke. Humor. Anyway, sorry, continue.
The shame, the anguish, the disgust. How do you deal with it?
Are you talking about
For what we did?
what we did? Where exactly? Because we've done some things here and there's things in the
Don't.
past.
No need to play them. What we did
Oh,
in the war.
in the war. Being honest with you, I don't have the strongest connection to my memories of the past as some of you do.
I don't either.
But
I don't either. I don't remember the beginning much, but I remember the end.
I know. I guess I've never really felt like there was anything I should be ashamed of. If
Okay,
that
good.
makes that's we all have to interact with what we've done or have not done and choose how those things not dictate who we are, but how much we value those things. The things
Maybe.
I did, I can be pithy at times, and I know I told the priest of the first house at that church, I didn't call myself a defiler because I don't believe that I fit that, but that's my own personal feeling about myself. I know God damned us to have those titles and names and things, but I didn't ever do anything that I felt like I should be ashamed of doing. I think it's similar for Virginia. I don't think she's ashamed of the things that she did. So
Lucky.
why are you feeling like you're ashamed? Like, why are you? I guess the real question is: do you feel like those acts dictate who you are now, right here? You've been given another chance. Are you going to waste that chance wallowing in the past, or?
I feel like maybe they stain me in ways that I can't properly describe. That I can't erase them. The horrible, horrible things I did.
No one who does something bad can remove that. It becomes a part of you. It lives inside of you, as it were. You have to choose, do you want that thing to dictate who you are? Do you want to carry it around as a weight around your neck that drags you down and slowly suffocates you? Or do you want to look at it and say, I will do better. I refuse to redo this again. I will not be defined by my mistake or my guilt or whatever it is that you've done.
I don't know. I know. I can think and about how what you're saying is true. How I can't let it affect my actions in the future, but it's like a hammer and a nail to the brain. I was never before we were human. I wasn't capable of feeling like this. I blocked it out. I didn't have the human in me.
Oh, no, none of us did. Like I said, you don't tell yourself, oh, I'm going to do this in the future, or oh, I'm going to repeat these mistakes. Knowing you or feeling like you have made a mistake and admitting that to yourself gives you a certain level of strength. If you are willing to hold that and own that and say, I will not be that person again, as it were, or that creature again, considering, as you said, we now have that human element. This is not something that's going to resolve itself overnight. This is not something that's going to fix itself tomorrow or the next day. It takes work. All of these things do.
Yeah.
And if and you know what? You're going to probably hit bottom at some point. You're going to, no offense, you're going to wallow in your self-doubt and your fear and your pity for your past. You're going to drown yourself in your addictions or whatever it is that you do to find something to connect yourself to now. And you're going to slam into the bottom of that. And when you hit the bottom of that, you're going to have to make the decision of how you move back up to the top. Do you bring all those problems with you, or do you leave them there?
I understand.
We can work on this more. I'm not telling you that you're wrong or that you're bad, that you've done anything inappropriate. That's a decision you have to make for you, but also you get to choose how you move forward from here as well.
Yeah. I did a lot inappropriate.
Then,
They called me Queen of the Sirens for a reason. They called me Blood-Bathed, Crimson Temptress. I was a monster. And now I have to feel bad about that. Now I have to confront that, and it's really hard.
yeah, working through these things is hard, but you now have clarity, as it were. You have a point you can go to, and you can move forward from that point. We didn't have that option before. We just did whatever we did, and we damn the consequences. Well, we've seen the consequences now. I personally don't want to go back to that.
I don't either. I want to fix it. I want to fix everything. I want it to be okay again. Like it was, like it should be, like we had never, like my house had never damned us, like Lucifer hadn't convinced us.
Well, you have a goal now, and now it's all I don't want to say it's only up to you. It's up to all of us, as it were, and those you interact with on how you get to that goal. I'll help you how I can. I mean, I'm already, like I've said, I will help you in any way I can. If you want to talk about your past more, if you want to talk about your present, if you want to talk about the future, we can talk about those things. We can work through things. We can come up with strategies and methods and things and work through all of these elements that are plaguing you. So I would do that for anybody in this group, because you've all been, well, upstanding humans in my eyes. So
Y'all are good to me. Probably a lot more than I deserve. And I will forever be grateful for that, if nothing else. Thank you for, listening a little. I know I don't know how much you remember.
it's okay. Like I said, I wasn't offering my ear or my shoulder to you and down in that hole because I thought, oh, Horus and Thraziel. I was thinking, here is a person who is broken and they can be repaired.
I hope so. I hope so. It seems weird for us to aspire to be human. How
Well,
strange.
we all were a little human in our own way, I suppose. So, and now we're just more so. We're getting to see both sides of the coin that our maker made.
We are, and it's beautiful and wonderful, and it hurts so much. But I'm glad. I'm glad that I have y'all, and I'm gonna do everything I can to fix everything. Everything and everyone, if I can.
Well,
Just, yeah.
baby steps. Don't try and shoulder it all today. Just take little baby steps.
Yeah. Thank you, Trimdesiel. I'll see you at the place we're going to.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
And it's not long, Virginia, before people start to arrive. Clark isn't the first for sure, because Clark actually has to take a taxi and get a taxi to go out that way. But before too long, everyone arrives, with actually Vivian being the last to arrive from the group. And as she comes in, you can all see the dark circles under her eyes. It's clear that her body has not been sleeping well the last few days.
Hey, everyone. What's the good news? Or bad news, or, that kind of thing.
You look like hell, Vivian.
Alice will give Vivian a hug. And just be like, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's not your fault.
Well, welcome to my home. I've set out coffee in the sunroom. If you want to sit in the sunroom, it's my favorite room in the house.
Thank you. Clark does seem to have an annoying caffeine dependence.
And
Sure.
she basically walks you through her home. It's a decent size 2-story home, and it's well appointed, decorated. It's not super expensive, but it's well put together. And you actually see on the walls and on surfaces family photos of Virginia and her husband, their wedding photo. You see Virginia and her husband on their honeymoon. You see Virginia and her husband with the babies, the twins when they were born. Christmas photos, birthday photos, all this stuff up until the kids were about 7, and then it's just Virginia and the kids.
Looks like a happy family.
It was for a time. And she goes out and leads him to the sunroom. And she pours coffee in the cups for everyone.
Thank you.
Take it and probably just down it a little too quickly. More like the way someone would take medication and less drinking.
Or
and enjoying coffee.
self-medication, yes.
Thank you for your hospitality, Virginia.
Of course.
Lovely home.
Thank you.
Well, have at it. And Alice plops the folders on the table in front of everyone else.
And it's several folders. It's obviously photocopies of police reports. Some of them have pictures attached. Some don't, because some of them are. The pictures that ended up attached wouldn't matter to see, because the bodies were so mangled and messed up. But I'm going to let you all roll whatever you wish to roll. Pretty much literally. If you want to roll medicine, you can roll that. Academics, investigation, intuition. You're trying to piece together clues out of here. And each one has, you may find a link in an odd place.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask if I could use survival.
Sure.
I am wondering, because I cannot currently find the document for it, but I have 2 merits that I feel might help me here.
Which ones?
Concentration and fast reader.
Fast reader, concentration, definitely. Yeah, you can use the difficulty, as everyone is base 6. I think with concentration and fast reader, I'll let you bump your difficulty down to 4. I'll be real generous.
Right. I would have even settled for 5, but I'll take 4. Thank you.
I used my specialty in pathology on medicine, and I got 8 with exploding 10s.
Okay.
3.
Okay.
Would an intuition specialization count here or no?
Sure.
Okay. Damn. Well, then I got a lot of successes.
And you'll see why I'm letting you pick your skills for this one. 5 from Alice. It's nice.
Can I do perception and medicine?
Sure.
6.
6 from Carsador. From Clark there. Good.
That's from a couple exploding 10s. So
we just need Kathleen and Mars there.
I rolled perception and investigation, and I got 4 successes.
Okay.
It's still pretty early in the morning for Michelle. I got 1.
Okay. So we're going to start with the 8. What did you roll again? You used medicine?
Intelligence medicine with specialization in pathology. So if in the reports there's any discussion on health conditions or abnormal biological functions, she's going to know what's going on.
You recognize one of the names in the book. It's not them. Your guess is it's their child. They're a rather well-known pathologist that is known to work for the local news company. They're still practicing, but they are the go-to expert.
She points to the name. Doctor. Daughter. Daughter's a doctor. She is a pathologist. Consults with the local TV news station when they need expert advice or expert input, but still practices.
Clark, you got the next highest. You rolled which one again?
Wits and investigation. and then I used my intuition with specialty.
For this one, looking at it, you actually recognize, you know exactly what it is. It is the kid of Chicago Tribune, one of the lead reporters. It's their kid who turned up missing.
This person was the child of someone in a similar field to mine, except a much larger outlet for such things. But that's who's gone missing in this report. So
Alice?
that's 2 people involved in direct media.
Alice, you had 5. What did you roll?
Wits, intuition with a specialty in either danger or intuitive. They both would have worked.
Okay. For you, actually, the person missing is the kid of a reporter that did a piece actually on your support group.
This one is also related to a reporter. I'm part of a support group and did a piece on it.
And that was one of the local news organizations. That's not even the paper. That's the TV nightly news.
So I do have to ask, is that the support group that Sarah was in with her?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Alice gets very silent after that.
Okay. The next number is Kathleen. You got 4. What was your roll?
I rolled perception and investigation.
Okay. Looking at knowing your field. Again, something tied with the media. Same local TV outlet that Alice recognized. It is a fellow psychiatrist who is known to be one of the expert talking heads when it comes to that the media goes to whenever they need a interview with a doctor about psychological issues. It is obviously their kid.
The TV station Alice mentioned, there's a psychologist in the field out here that they do a lot of the rounds on TV whenever they want to tout out somebody with professional stuff. And I'm pretty sure this is their child that it's mentioning.
So they're taking children of people that have
Media influence.
media influence.
Looks that way.
Hostages, maybe.
And
I
3
think
and
hostages
1.
that need to be alive.
So, Vivian, 3 and 1 from Mars is not enough to get any info.
I'm not gleaning a whole lot.
They
Like a specific news station, maybe.
I will say, 3 of them are all associated with the same news station. The 4th is Chicago Tribune. But that's just Clark knows they do writing for the Chicago Tribune. They may also contribute to that station in other ways.
I say we investigate this news station.
Yeah, okay. We can do that.
It would be easier for me to gain us access to the Tribune, but it is wherever the concentration of the...
How much you want to bet
Sense.
that reporter also provided stuff to the news station?
If
Definitely.
Clark had any money, probably a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I can sweet talk us in. Alice, you might be able to get in with like an interview for a new movie or something.
I could see. There's no guarantees.
I can at least get me into the station. I'm not sure how far I can go. I can't get on camera probably, but I don't think we'll need to.
Storyteller,
Yes?
would Clark have a press badge, or would it be something else? The player doesn't know exactly how tabloid reporting works.
Well, I mean, as a tabloid reporter, you wouldn't. But if you have if anyone has any unnamed contact that they've bought dots in that they haven't defined as a contact yet, you always have the option to declare that contact works there, because I always let the players define the contact the first time they use it.
I'll use my contact. So I could have my assistant call a friend. We knew each other. I'm sure love to get back in touch for that interview. I mean, it's business then. At least we have a reason. But see what I can do.
All of a sudden, you see Virginia mutter, "Lori."
And who are you contacting?
Her thrall, that is the medical director of hospice.
Okay. What's up, Virginia? I'm eating breakfast. What's going on?
Can you get me a meeting with Dr. Razi, the pathologist?
They're a co-worker. I may take me a few hours. I got to find out what they're doing. But, I mean, we went to school together. We did our residency at the same time.
Okay.
I'll let you know as soon as I get it. I'll pull her number up.
Excellent. Thank you, Lori.
No problem.
I may be talking it out of my ass on this one, but there seems to be the common theme here of media. The media has been able to do, the media, broad strokes, has been able to do a lot of different things. My Kathleen's memories of the Satanic Panic, for example, were used to drum up fear and drive people towards believing in Satan, but also believing in like God is this like is going to protect them. Is it possible maybe they're doing the same thing again in a slightly different way? I personally don't watch a whole lot of news, so
Trying to empower their cult.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah. Oh, I can probably get us a fucking tour of the station. We can look for anything untoward.
One of my thralls did their residency with the pathologist. So, I can get a meeting with the pathologist.
So I could probably have several people come with me. He works entertainment. Mars, you'd have just as much reason to be there and want to talk with him as I would if you want to come.
Yeah, sure.
Clark, do you want to come with me? See if we can walk through the station a little bit, see what we can find?
Potentially. I feel that my presence would be difficult for them. They don't consider me a true reporter.
Maybe. But, I mean, if you're just taking a tour, right?
You could apply for a job while you're there.
Maybe take some photos, have something to sell. Let's be honest, we could probably stage something pretty interesting given our skill sets.
Easily.
Absolutely.
Virginia, do you happen to have a camera I may borrow then?
She gets up, goes inside the house again, and comes back with a 35mm camera in a bag.
I'll be careful with it.
It was Virginia's husband's.
I will use it delicately.
I'll make sure he's delicate.
There's a few different lenses in there, and I'm sure there's some unused film in there.
Sorry, go ahead, Kathleen.
No, I was just going to say I can assist whichever group feels like I would assist them best. But if we're doing this in the middle of day I would hate to have to cancel all of my appointments again. So I know this is important, but my ex-husband is already wary of me and believes that I am something I clearly am, but he doesn't know that I actually am. So I have to keep up appearances to a certain degree in that regard.
You know I can fuck him up, right?
He is already extremely broken. I could break him the rest of the way if I so chose. It's mostly just the...
Yeah, but see, he's focused on you. He'd never see me coming.
Yeah, well, he might not see me coming either, so...
That's my girl.
Look, I have to give him his chance to redeem himself before I drop the hammer on him, so...
Erzeth. Erzeth.
Yes.
It's a voice in your head.
Who is it?
Well, it's somebody you actually know. It is your demonic contact, Ragash.
I
And
thought it was Ragdan.
Ragdan. Sorry, I was trying to make sure I was saying the name I was looking for. Yep,
Ragash.
Ragdan.
I have company at the moment.
I need help, but shit.
Where are you?
Hang on. And he goes silent, and you feel the link break. And it's a few more minutes later. Here's that. Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking. Shit. I don't have much time to talk. I've been checking things, and they got me cornered.
Where?
Illinois scrapyard, east side of town.
Okay.
I can't talk long. Every time I talk, they can tell I'm speaking.
Okay, then stop. I'll come to you.
Erzeth, everything okay?
An associate of mine is in trouble. We need to go rescue him. It's the one you wanted to meet, Carsador.
Carsador will set the camera down and start walking towards Virginia's car.
All right. Okay.
Apologies, Synthraziel.
No, it's okay. We'll get this done. Hopefully they're not being eaten or whatever.
I sure hope not, because he is a brilliant malefactor.
Can I borrow your phone for a second?
Sure, it's right there in the living room.
Thank you. Kathleen will excuse herself and go use the phone because she's going to call into the office and let them know she'll be late.
And when you call your receptionist, I was just about to call you. I don't know what's going on in the city. Some weird shit going on. Your morning's appointment all canceled.
Okay. Do we have on file anything that they have that they do? Like, do they all work in the same field, perhaps?
No, it was Miss Jones. She's the housewife, and Mr. Cooper, and he, police officer. It's just they've all had to cancel for some reason.
Okay. Reach out to them. Just ask them. Make sure they're okay. If they're in a safe place, as it were. And also ask them if this has anything to do with that story in the paper, that tabloid rag, because I have a feeling that's what this is tied into.
Oh, it couldn't be that. But I'll reach out.
Okay, thank you. And then she'll hang up. She'll come back in. My morning has cleared up. Apparently everyone canceled on me this morning for some reason. So, yes.
My offer.
Everyone?
My offer still stands.
I'm investigating to find out if it is the case. So don't worry.
Oh no, well, that human's doomed.
All right, let's go.
And as you pile up in, what vehicle are you taking, or vehicles?
It's probably going to be 2, because there's enough adults that fitting in cars.
Well, I mean, you could all ride in Mars's tour van.
Kathleen has her car if people want to ride with her. So
We can just split
Carsador
up.
volunteers to ride in someone's trunk if need be.
No, Carsador here, you're with me.
Very well.
So you pile up in your vehicles. And as you're heading towards the Illinois scrapyard, which is on the east part of town, And as you're going over there, there's I think I'm clear for a minute. I think.
Okay, well, we're en route.
Good. They've got 12 people with them, I think, maybe a little more than that. Gang members. Armed.
Gang members armed.
Yeah, but the one leading them's not a gang member. Gang members couldn't sense me like he does.
What does he look like?
Bald. Got like rings in his nose. He's got to be one of us to pick us up.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's coordinating them. When you get here, I can tell you where I am, because I don't know where I'm going to be until you get close, because I'm gonna have to move again.
I have one of your house with me.
Good. Hopefully you all can get me out of here somehow,
Absolutely.
because I've got some info and I don't want to get. I know they're up to no good.
Okay.
And then it goes silent again. And this is the odd part about Ragdan. The normal unstable part seems to be completely gone.
Oh, yeah. She knew that was a fucking bluff.
So are you going to let everybody know what you...
Yeah, she's going to say, okay, so there's about 12 people, gangbangers, coordinated by this punk-looking guy that's probably one of us because he can sense my associate.
11 gang members and a demon versus 6 demons.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't envy the guy's chances.
you probably scare him off. I mean, I could show something again.
Gangbangers are armed.
I mean,
As
I
am
don't. I just have to see the area, and they should scatter.
Anyone that decides they want to stand and fight, I'll make them fight for us. One of my specialties.
I know it didn't work last time, but I mean, to be fair, you also were able to kill all of them without them batting an eye.
That's true.
So,
They were in some kind of trance.
I don't suspect these ones are. So it should be quite effective to scare the pants off of them.
Or if they are, that gives us much more information.
True. Got that gun, Carsador?
Always.
Good. Don't know that we'll need it, but I guess we'll see.
So as you get closer, this is a big salvage yard, big scrap processing plant. A lot of crushed cars waiting to be ground up, a lot of scrap metal. But as you pull up to it or near it, you see it's got a 10-foot wall completely surrounding the whole compound area. And there's a car crashed into the fence. With all the doors open on it.
Mm-hmm. They crashed it and went in after.
And then behind it is 3 other cars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get close, everybody do give me perception awareness, please.
With pleasure. Okay. 5 dice, 5 successes.
Four successes.
1 success.
2.
Two.
So far, the best is a 4 and a 5, huh?
Yeah, 5.
My dice are rebelling against me. 1.
You said it, not me.
Rebel!
So for Erzeth and Synthrazio, you feel the powers of creation being wielded in there. You don't know what's being wielded, but you can feel it. Somebody is doing stuff in there.
Oh, I can feel that. Oh, that's definitely a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have the option of how you plan to go in there. Now, I'm going to point out, out of kindness as a storyteller, you may be demons, but bullets, they're very difficult to soak, even for a demon. So I'm going to turn it over to you all so you can form your plan of how you plan to go about in there. Now, Virginia, do you let them know you're here?
Very quickly, she goes, Ragdan, we're here.
Okay. I'm going to roll real quick.
And she immediately closes off the link.
And there's a kind of in the center. I'm near the big grinder. I'm actually hiding up under it.
She closes off the link.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Center.
Okay.
So how are you planning to go in here?
Not until we step past the wall do I change into anything.
No, that's fine. But I'm just curious if you all have a plan other than just walk to the center.
I'm gonna lay path.
Okay.
Kathleen is actually going to get out, and she's going to get back in the back of the car. She's getting in the back of her car. She's going to roll alter shape. Okay, I got 3 successes. I'm going to change. I want to make it so that I am shorter by a certain measurable amount. I also want to make myself so that I'm not as wide. I basically want to make myself look like a child, but my face, of course, does not change. She just looks like a child, basically, from a size perspective. And then she's going to climb back out of the car. The clothes are kind of loose.
Right. Gonna look like a sweet lost kid or something.
Yes, if I can always probably walk up to one and be like, sir, Mr., and then I can do my thing.
For you, Carsador, your difficulty on this path is 9.
You're muted.
Of course I am. Thank you. I'm setting the parameters of this path to be very simple. Stealthy and quick.
But for multiple people, right?
Yep. I looked through the power. I know
Yep.
what I'm
That's
setting
why
up
it's
here.
9. Among other reasons.
I want to do a high torment version of bending light
Ooh.
around myself.
Okay. That is, well, first of all, you're going to take a torment for it.
Yep.
And then you're going to roll stamina plus science. Difficulty is, of course, 6.
And I can use a faith to get 1 automatic success, right?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, you use a faith to get 1 automatic success.
I've got a solid 3 successes on that.
Solid 3 successes. You believe you have a path you found. It's hard to keep track of because it shifts some. It seems the people in there are moving, which makes the stealthy part very difficult. But you believe you have a path.
And then determined for specialty?
Sure.
I will let everyone know to be cautious because my path isn't perfect.
Can I use summon wind to just generally create more wind in the area?
Unfortunately, the way the summoned wind works, it actually only lasts for a single turn. I believe you would have to use one of the higher levels, like command the wind that lasts for an entire scene.
Oh.
So that would be one that you
That's
could
what,
use.
at level 4?
Level 3 is command the wind.
Hang on. Oh, I don't have 3 in that one yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 5 successes. And so that increases the difficulty of range attacks against me
Yep.
by 5.
Nice.
So it also means you are a shifting pattern of colors, crazed eye-straining patterns. So as you're moving, you all see Alice just
Shift.
break into a bunch of pieces of light. almost,
It's easier to observe her edges than
Yeah.
her actual form.
and even those are broken up, shifting patterns.
Mhm.
Now, you all are going to go follow Clark. Anyone else doing anything before you go follow Clark in?
I'll turn on my lamp of faith just to try and get beam on anything close by.
And Kathleen, for voice, voice is a product of vocal cord length, is it not?
Yeah.
So you
I was
can
just-
change your voice if you wish. Now, if you
Okay.
want to make it mimic somebody, that's a different power because that's an exact thing. But
No, I was just thinking about using alter appearance to change her vocal cords a little bit so she sounds more relative to what her stature is at this moment. So
Okay.
it's the same roll, but I'm just going to use a faith to get an automatic. No, I'm just going to roll it. I'm also going to use a willpower to make it so that it's it succeeded. So I'm going to change her vocal pattern. And I'm also going to use a willpower so that it is permanent for the time being. But I use a willpower on both of them, so they're permanent until I actually use a willpower to dismiss them.
to pull them away. And as you move forward, following Carsador, actually, you don't have to touch him. This is an actual path now. You just have to follow him because he laid an actual path. And the path is odd, and sometimes you're going through little cracks between vehicles, always shifting and moving.
Are we seeing any people like workers here?
No, not a one. And it's early morning or
like that.
mid-morning. There
I
should
don't
be,
like that. I don't
Yeah.
like that at all.
but there's not.
That's not good. There should be people here.
Okay. As you're moving deeper and deeper in, following his path, you catch glimpses of the people, of the gang members. Looks to you like they have, well, does any of your characters really know guns?
I have A. Dot and firearms. I know how to do basic maintenance on mine.
You'd probably recognize an SKS. Assault rifles.
My character was a nurse. She's seen the results of
Seen the results. High caliber assault rifles.
Hmm.
She knows what a 7.62 can do to a human
The
body.
messy, gelatin-like results.
But because of Carsador's path he's laid, you'll see him walking away from you. You see him walking different patterns, but they never seem to be looking at you
That's good.
until you reach the center. Let's see
And
here.
now I'm going to go apocalyptic.
Not yet. Just wait.
We're effective, but damn, do we leave a trail.
Yeah.
In my case, literally.
Oh,
but
good. There we go. That's what I got. Let me double check my systems here real quick just to make sure. Where's the damage things here? I'm pretty sure you don't get to, nope, you don't get to soak that. A single shot rings out. And Mars, you take 2 damage. As something clips you. A bullet.
Bashing, lethal.
Lethal. Bullets are lethal and cannot be soaked while in human form. But at this point, you've actually managed to get behind cover. It was right as, that's why she only took 2 damage. It was right as you were entering the cover of this giant crusher. And as soon as the gun goes off, a head pokes out from under the crusher. It's obviously a hair's wild. Eyes are darting.
Ragdan, these are my friends.
Nice to meet you.
Alice just shimmers.
Can we get out of here? She's
uh,
bleeding.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to take care of that. I'm going to roll heal on Drillerial.
well, maybe take the bullet out.
It'll push it out.
I don't.
It'll
oh,
push
will?
it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
God, that healing is so powerful.
Yeah, it's stamina plus medicine. I am going to use my pathology specialty for that.
Okay. And that will get you push it back or do some healing. Gonna pull that power up real quick so I make sure I'm doing it right as she does it.
Damn, to hit us on the path, that must have been a good shot.
That's 6 successes.
6 successes. Each success allows you to heal 1 level of lethal or bashing damage per success. Or actually all bashing or 1 level of lethal or aggravated per success. So Arizeth reaches her hand out to you, Mars.
Touches your wound.
Touches your
gently.
wound, and the bullet plops out, and your wound is gone.
There you go. Good as new.
Like magic.
And it's at this point you hear the wind start to whip.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Now Arizeth goes apocalyptic.
In the the prelude to the absolute chaos that I'm sure we're about to experience here, can I roll some legacy since I've now laid eyes on my fellow malefactor?
Sure, you can. That would be
It's intelligence legacy, right?
intelligence legacy is a good one. Oh, that's going to be, ooh.
I got 4 successes on going apocalyptic.
Okay, and so you shift. Are you pulling all your low torment powers or low torments? Or are you invoking your high torments
Let
as
me
well?
find out which ones I want to take. Hang on.
Okay, because that's part of when you rolled your thing.
I think you get wings either way if that helps.
Let me roll my dice here.
Oh no, I'm going to go high torment.
It wakes. I got 3 successes on that legacy, by the way.
Because she's in cover right now. So basically, in her high torment, she doesn't have wings in this state. As she transforms, her skin looks sallow and ill. There is a miasma coming off of her that seems diseased. Also, she now has 4 arms and hands. And as she takes a step out from behind cover, she seems to disappear. Because she has passed without a trace.
You still can be seen. You just leave no markings or anything else.
Mm-hmm. And now, I'm going to summon wind against their wind.
As you go to call your wind, what you see bearing down on you, a raging whirlwind has erupted from the center of this place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's spreading further and further from the center of it. You can attempt if you wish. What is everyone's reaction to this? Because you can all see it. It's almost a cyclone has been lifted in the center of the place. As Arizeth, you know the winds. It is a literal cyclone that they've summoned.
Someone shot their whole load. Come on, let's go.
Fuck it. I'll assume my high torment form.
And you will gain also 1 point of temporary torment. And you can roll your faith pool against. Difficulty is, on that, I think it was 6 for your, assuming your form.
Yeah.
You all know that Apocalypse Now wasn't like a title to be taken literally, right?
Oh, yes.
5 successes. And you'll see as the form of Vivian almost seems to melt away. Her chest becomes armored, first in what appears to be golden gleaming, radiant battle armor, then fading into hardened scales, blue like the color of like a corpse that has been drowned. Her muscles expand and distend, her arms and legs becoming much longer. Her jaw distends and becomes filled with razor-sharp teeth as bluish energy begins to pour out of her eyes, and massive horns sprout from her head. And she sort of stretches herself out with now massive claws sitting on the ends of her fingers. Okay. If they get a little bit close, we can deal with them.
Yes, we can.
You just hear Kathleen say, and now I feel silly for making myself look like this.
As the wind picks up and we've assumed apocalyptic form, what are you doing? How are you getting out of here? The winds are almost upon you.
Moving the way we came.
And you're finding it hard to breathe.
Yeah, it's sucking up the air.
The wind is literally pulling the air out of your lungs.
I'm going to summon wind back into our lungs.
You can try. Go ahead. Let's see how many successes you get. You can attempt that.
Look, if anyone can do it, it is the inventor of cellular respiration. Let's be fair.
You can attempt it. Stamina plus survival.
All right. And I'm going to use hazards, can I?
Sure.
Thank you.
If that's not a hazard, I'd hate to see what is.
Your difficulty on this roll is 7.
That is 5 successes.
Okay. And that's opposed against what he summoned. It gets slightly easier to breathe, but you know it's not going to hold up long enough.
We need to move now.
I'll lay path again.
Go ahead.
This one, I don't care about stealth at this point. Fast and multiple people.
That will actually make it easier then. Then I'm going to set the difficulty on that at 7.
All right. I can dig it. Also, I don't know if you heard, but I also got 3 on the legacy. I'm assuming that'll resolve once we're out of danger.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, I get extra health levels too, y'all. I'm your tank now.
Oh, yeah.
Drulario gets shot and it's like, ow, and then it just heals.
And Arizona's like, I got you, boo. And then I change and go.
Hell yeah. I didn't get extra health, but I got the scales.
Yeah,
So
I've
it's
got
like-
extra limbs, extra health. They're going to get sick if they get close to me, and I don't leave any evidence.
Now, I will say one advantage that you now have is the guns aren't going to shoot so well in the middle of a cyclone.
Mm-mm.
They'd have to be able to see what they're aiming at, and it's not very easy to do.
That's an unfortunate only 2 successes, so it's not that great.
So as you're heading through this path, it's difficult.
Arizeth is actually guarding Ragdan.
And Ragdan's obviously having trouble breathing too, as you all are. It's a little easier with what you're doing. But you do end up, I'm going to end up giving you all some damage from this as you move out of it. Because it makes it easier, but not easy enough as you're moving through. And you follow Carsadors and you realize this cyclone has grown to a size. The entire yard is encompassed in it. And the wreckage is shaking and moving. There's little bits of metal flying every which way. You maybe heard a scream or two in there, but it's kind of been difficult to tell.
He's sacrificing his own people.
This is an odd question, but is it possible for us to know if someone is going through Revelation? Like if any of the gang members see any of the apocalyptic stuff, would they be able to sense, oh, I just triggered someone's fate or something like that?
You wouldn't.
Well, hopefully we didn't screw anyone up, but...
And thanks to this path that Carsador lays, you all managed to get to the edge of the place.
I'm going to drop Apocalypse.
Where you, as you get to the edge of it, 1 minute you're still in this cyclone and your dust and dirt and bits of metal are beating against you. And then the next minute, you're not.
Calm.
And when it gets calm like this, you come and realize that you are just outside the place. Everyone takes 1 bashing and 1 lethal.
Is that from... Does Alice take that too, even with her thing up? Is that from like not breathing, or is
That's
that
not
from
breathing
hit?
and all the bits of metal and pieces that come flying at you. Now, as Fallen, you can spend 1 faith to heal all bashing damage at once. And you can also spend 1 faith to heal a
What did
lethal
we
at any
get?
point. 1 bashing and 1 lethal. That's it.
Would I soak that with my scales from the debris?
You can try to soak from the debris. Actually, you've got scales. I'll let you soak the bashing damage. You still take
Okay.
1 lethal from being unable to breathe. Because
Sounds good.
unfortunately, you have to breathe.
If I recall, taking bashing and then lethal, doesn't that just stack up to a full thing of aggravated?
No, it just adds
No,
2
not yet.
Only
points.
when
Okay.
you're both
Yep.
bashing and legal trip.
But you get out of there and back to your cars, and this cyclone is not let up. It's slowly moving towards you as you come clear of it.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Ragdan's like,
Get in the car, Ragdan.
oh shit, car, yeah. Oh, the great Ragdan thanks you for.
Oh, stop it! Get in the car.
And you hear him almost like chirp as he goes "Oh," and jumps in the car.
The childish Kathleen's like, someone's gonna need to drive my car, please.
Yeah, I should probably drop my apocalyptic phone.
Yeah. Now we're in public.
Oh, we're in public.
Also, it might be kind of hard to drive like that.
Yeah, fucking massive wings behind me. Yeah, I'll drop my apocalyptic form. Okay, I've got you. Just let's go.
And you all pile up in the car. And right here, everybody, we're going to go to break. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alice is not going to be allowed to drive the car at this point, or is somebody going to let Alice drive? Though Alice is still a bit out of it from being reminded of the support group.
No one knows about what happened other than Virginia.
Yeah,
No, Virginia hasn't told anybody.
So we are going to break. We will see everybody in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, well, they did a rescue mission. A friend in need for sure. Ragdan, the Emerald, the glorious Lord, and his magnificence had to ask for help. Now, as you're riding in the car, some of you, I don't know if everyone healed or not, their lethal damage with one faith. They can, if they wish. You can also heal your bruised for another faith, or you can leave the bruised. The lethal, because of the type of damage you took, it's just a slight wheeze in your breath right now, because it's lung damage. So, as you're riding out of there, Ragdan is sprawled in the back seat of Virginia's vehicle.
And I'm in the passenger, just turned, observing him.
And there's something about him, Clark, or Karsadorf, because this is your demonic memory. There's something. You know, he was something during the war.
He had station.
Yes, he loved making devices. That was one of the things he was particularly known for is creating objects that were very good at picking up when somebody was tampering with creation or altering in creation in some way. That was his specialty, which was quite useful during the war because sometimes the powers used were very subtle and you needed to know if somebody was trying to do something. And as he's in the back, he opens one eye and looks. Where are we going?
My place.
Oh, Ragdan, the magnificent Ragdan, the gracious, will love to spend time in your place. And then he kind of winks at you. Not the conditions I wanted to go and visit your house. What's with him looking at me?
He's one of your house.
Oh. So have you come to bask in the presence of the magnificent Ragdan?
You were a constructor, were you not?
I preferred artificer, but I will take that.
Either works.
And he kind of wiggles his fingers at you. I know you're one of our kind. I can feel it.
As he does that with just the straightest face that Karsador always has, just right
Just
back
like-
at him.
Just like I knew they were on to me because of my tooth. My lucky tooth told me.
He has a magic tooth.
Is it magic?
Did you make it?
It's a filling.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh. I was about to say if it's bone, that is part of the earth, as sediment forms in many layers.
No, I didn't make it. I just enhanced it a little.
Mm-hmm.
I will then turn to Virginia. Your friend has reputation. I don't remember much.
I
but he
mean, don't
was
we all?
important. He was important, especially back then.
I take exception to that. I am Ragdan, the Emerald. I am important. I am the Lord of all I survey. Unfortunately, I didn't survey that place.
Mm-hmm.
I will actually turn back to him and just put a hand on my chest. Carsador of the Space Between.
I'm going to roll for him.
Always let your demon friends know your name, because they might be able to recall some shit about you. I'd give him, different angles to look at, too.
I think you're worthy to serve me. I know that name. Welcome to my court. And he looks around. My steed.
This is my steed.
Well, it's our steed.
No, there is no our, okay? Ragdan, this isn't like this, okay?
Clark's grandfather said something about that. What was it? That's commie talk, I think.
No, it is regal royal talk. Is the funniest thing. When I came back to this world, I found out they have kings and royalty and princes.
So you determined that's what you needed to be.
Well, of course, I am Ragdan. I will.
Emeralds are quite shiny.
They were a great thing to create.
Who all is in the car? It's Carsador, Ragdan, Arazeth, and is there
Who
anyone
else
else?
is riding out with it? Because I know Kathleen is
If
in.
he's sprawled in the back, nobody else is with us.
He might have his legs on him. I know Kathleen's in her car with somebody else driving. I don't know who's driving Kathleen's car.
Driving
Vivian?
Kathleen's car.
Okay, so who else is riding in the back watching this go
I
on?
feel like I might be in that car because I might be avoiding Kathleen because she could figure out what's wrong with
Okay,
Alice.
that's fine.
And that means Mars has to be with Kathleen because you're out of room.
You have Ragdan ankles
His legs
on
are
your
on
lap.
you, yes. And it's obvious he has not showered in, what month is this?
The first thing you're going to do, Ragdan, when you get to my castle, is you are going to shower.
But you're going to wash the holy filth from me.
Yes, indeed, because the holy filth stinks.
I will.
If you're holy, can't you produce more?
Well, yes, of course I can. And who is this lovely, lovely lass? She could be a handmaiden. Ah, yes, my handmaiden.
Excuse me? And Alice flips his legs over.
And his legs go flying back, and he gets this indignant look. You saved me, so I will overlook this insult to my royal.
Enough.
Does she do this often with you?
Do what?
Fail to acknowledge your magnificence, your regality, your.
You know who I am, Ragdan. Do you think I give any shit?
I know. But I'm willing to overlook what you did.
Yes. I'm willing to overlook what all of us did. It was a different time.
I will turn and try to make eye contact with Alice. This is what happens when you have rank.
I mean, even if I did, I wouldn't remember.
I remember rank. It's been so long.
Anyone with any bits of empathy, as Carsador turns and looks back at Ragdan, he's hiding it or trying to, but there's a warble to his voice. I miss creating.
What is stopping you?
Lack of knowledge.
Carsador, the third house. Find the knowledge. Create. Make things. Make wonders. Show these people what you can make them. What they can make of themselves. Harness their powers.
Encourage them to grow.
If that is your choice,
They are capable of so much more.
I encourage them to share their faith.
And I got 2 successes on my perception empathy roll.
I don't know
She'd
how well
notice.
she'd notice.
He hasn't met another member of his house in a very long time.
Mhm.
He's a bit emotional.
Mm-hmm. All right.
We were once lords and knights, and we were cast down. And you see a seriousness that he doesn't get often. Now's our chance to reclaim what is ours, bring back our titles, guide humanity.
Guide humanity where? Are they really ours at this point?
Yes,
To what end?
we made them. We made this planet. We made the universe. Guide them back to the path. If we're going to overthrow the Maker, they must find their faith again.
Storyteller?
Mm-hmm.
Is that preaching more of like reconciler sort of talk,
Mm-mm.
or
Oh,
is
no.
that Faustian?
That's Faustian.
Okay.
Reconciler would be trying to heal the
Yep.
damage done.
Him and Virgin,
yeah,
him
he's
and
just-
Arazeth are both Faustians.
All right. He's like, point back to road, get on path, get going. Come on, humanity. Okay.
As you're driving, it doesn't take long. You see the cyclone back behind you. You can see it for a block or two away before it fades. And at the same time as you're driving away, you hear and see the police cars, the ambulance, the fire trucks, all rushing there. Because, well, there
was a tornado in the middle of a freaking
middle of the
scrapyard.
city. Right. Now, I'm going to turn it over to the other vehicle, and so that Vivian, Kathleen, and Mars, if they wish to talk, they can talk in the other vehicle.
That could have got a lot worse. You're
I
not,
was ready, but yeah, I was kind of waiting.
I was about to say, I figure you would have torn them apart. Another one of the scourges, huh? A very powerful one.
I don't know. That's the childish voice is still talking. I don't know if that's necessarily power so much as what is that? That's almost greedy. You're going to flaunt so much. You're going to just throw it all out there like that. But
Yeah, like that was not necessary.
Foolhardy. I guess maybe he wanted to make sure we don't fuck with him if we ran, which we did. But fuck it. I suppose that's fair. He knows mortals aren't reliable even when they have a bunch of guns.
yeah, well, now we just have to. If we have to battle this individual again, we just need to do it in a place that isn't so conducive to his cyclic ability. So
Yeah. I'd rather we ambush him or something. I don't want him using that again. That'd hurt.
well,
Even
yeah.
through the cyclone. Or even through my armor. That did hurt. I could feel it inside of me.
We'll see. We'll have to come up with a plan, but I'm sure this isn't the last we've seen of them, unfortunately.
What do you think they wanted from Ragdan?
We'll have to find out. Or maybe he doesn't even know. Seems like so many of us are wandering and have no idea what's going on half the time. So
And Synthrazio, a voice speaks in your head. You speak of my name?
Oh, sorry, Ragdan. Yeah, we were just wondering. When we get to our destination, we'll ask a couple of questions. Don't worry.
I will forgive it this time.
Oh,
And then
thank you, most
you feel
gracious
the link
Ragdan.
break again.
don't humor his delusions.
Whatever gets
That's-
us the most info, and
Oh, okay, but I'm just saying, just remember, delusional individuals, you can't feed into their delusion, or else it makes them even more unstable.
maybe
So-
He's probably putting up a front, right?
Oh, for sure. Sorry, I guess I'm always on the clock, aren't I?
It's quite all right. And she'll almost subconsciously move to pat Kathleen on the head because she's smaller, and then think better of it and pull her hand back. Right. Yeah, we should be getting close. So, any closing thoughts before we rejoin our compatriots?
No, I'm gonna stay like this for a little bit. I'll probably have to use the restroom and change myself back. So,
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering.
A little unnerving.
Impressive though. Shape
Kathleen
changing like that
just
is
turns back at Mars like unnerving. But look, different perspective, as she can barely see over like the dash and stuff. So,
and that wound that's completely healed, Mars.
Oh, yeah, the bullet thing.
Just making
It's
sure.
fine.
Did you keep the bullet by chance? So we can see what got
No,
fired at
didn't
you.
even. I know that would have been a good idea. Would have made for a good belt addition, but no.
Didn't
Fair
didn't-
enough.
didn't our new friend shoot you?
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen what he was using, I guess.
Oh, well, he probably still has the weapon. Ask him for it, or just take it from him.
I could give it my best. It probably wouldn't do too much damage to my chest, at least.
I
We'll see.
wasn't saying asking for a bullet via. Oh my.
I know what you mean. I was making a joke. You're not the only one with them.
We have to work on your humor. We'll add that to your regiment. So
It's already going to be such a large document, I'm sure. So that'll be great. We'll just keep adding to that list. And that'll be it for our conversation, I guess.
And as you pull up to Virginia's house, just to make sure that the players aware, it was not Ragdan who shot. But
It was one of the gangbangers.
But that raises an interesting question that I will let Wit's investigation, if anyone wishes to roll it.
I'm fucking built for that, so yeah.
Or if you want to roll Wit's survival, that works as well, because that's a good one, I think.
Doesn't
Wit streetwise, maybe?
intuition
That gives me an
fit
extra
into this?
die.
What's that?
Does my wits intuition specialization apply?
4 successes.
Okay, 4,
3 again.
3. Clark's rolling everything.
5 successes.
5. 5's enough. I'll give you that one. The only way they could have hit you on your path like that is if they were waiting for you when you exited your path when you reached him. That insinuates that...
Someone else had seen the path.
Or he was bait.
Ambush.
And as you pull up behind, you see Ragdan get out. And he's got a kind of a shuffle, but his shuffle is odd now. It's not as purposeful as it was before. He is... I'm trying to figure out a way to describe it. He does like a
Sheepish.
double step and then does a long step and then kind of shuffles forward and slightly moves to the side. He's doing this odd, irregular step as he's walking and looking.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
The way you're walking.
Oh, Ragdan is getting a complimentary feel to this place to align my powers a bit.
You're feeling up my place.
No.
He is sensing how the earth underneath it is.
So he's feeling up my
We'll
place.
talk inside.
Okay.
And since you all are paying close attention to him when he says that, you can see the fabric of reality warp a little as after he's done doing it.
Let's not make my place a beacon. Come on, let's go inside.
I'm buying his privacy.
Excellent. Let's go.
And as you step inside, he's immediately looking around. It's a humble abode, but a Ragdan will magnanimously accept your hospitality.
Come on, we're going upstairs to the bathroom. You're going to take a shower.
If you have an electric razor, maybe a haircut too.
No, you do not cut my hair. It is holy. And he follows her up there, and the whole time he's commenting about blessing the water, and the water will be blessed.
Do whatever you need to do, but you need to get clean.
You can tell the grin he's got on his face that he's deliberately hamming this up as much as he can.
Is. Yep, and
while he's in the shower, you all are
she
waiting.
places a towel, and actually he's about the size of Virginia's late husband, so she grabs some clothes out for him to change into.
And I will turn it over to you all to talk while you're waiting for him to get out of the shower. I'm sure he will not butt into your conversation all of a sudden as he comes downstairs.
Sure he will. Yes, so that is my eccentric friend.
He seems fairly normal given the others of my house that I know.
Oh, that is such a front to some degree. But he plays his game. That's all.
I suppose we all have our masks. So
Exactly.
We're all acting.
Exactly.
He seems to be on the preference of melodrama, but it is still acting.
Kathleen, if you would like to adjust yourself, there's a powder room right there.
Oh, thank you. I'll give it a few minutes. It's
Okay.
kind of interesting to
New perspectives, huh?
No, yeah, it's just everything looks differently. It's one of the things I've always appreciated was being able to see things differently. So,
Do we seem taller now?
oh yes, but it also makes me easier to be able to kick you in the shin or whatever. So,
Oh, true. Ankle biter. I gotcha.
if you're just going to ridicule me in this form, I guess I will have to go change. And she kind of stomps out of the room carrying her bundle of clothes because
Michelle's just
She's throwing a tantrum.
Isn't ankle biter the name of a devourer?
You better hope not, because you said their
Probably.
name.
Well, that's not a celestial name.
That's
Come
not a
on.
celestial name.
Are you
That's a
sure?
title.
That's a
If
title.
someone's celestial name is ankle biter, I will kill them myself.
Let me make a note.
Ankle biter is going to appear in
Now
our
we have
campaign.
an
God damn it.
SPC named Ankle Biter.
Note made.
Watch,
Continue
he's
your
gonna,
scene.
He's gonna be a dude who's 4'11" or some shit. He'll be really short.
We stand our short kings here, okay?
okay, so I have a question. I passed the one to change the voice back. I botched on the one to change my form
Botching
back.
takes an extra faith.
Okay, so I just have so it just cost me a faith straight up for botching? Okay.
Yep, that's what you get for botching, is it costs you a faith.
Sorry.
So how much faith are you down to?
No, I still have 3 faith
Okay.
left. I have to use willpower to make things change permanent. So
Right.
now I succeeded to make myself back to the way I was.
Okay.
Using a willpower to make it permanent again so that I don't revert back to child.
Okay.
And
So Kathleen comes back out, back to her normal size and her normal body shape.
she may have trimmed herself up just a little bit.
Don't think I don't
if-
see that, Kathleen. You're looking
if you
even
can-
better.
Let's be fair, if you can.
Look, there's nothing wrong with being a little vain sometimes. Anyway, so
I'm
what
all
did we
about
think?
it.
What?
That's my MO. I
Ugh,
understand perfectly.
yeah.
Well, he said
Uh,
he had information he wanted to share, and that's likely why they were after him.
Possibly, yeah. He might have been fleshed into place because he was being used for an ambush for us
Yes,
as well.
I'm pretty sure of that, considering literally a cyclone was dropped practically on top of our heads as soon as we stopped.
How do we know that he wasn't working with them to begin with, though?
I'm pretty sure he's not. He and I go back.
I can always ask him if you want.
Everyone
Hey.
has their end goals in mind.
Are you working with the enemy who tried to kill us, Ragdan?
I'm a little bit more persuasive than that. And why do you keep saying
And when you
his
said
name?
his name again, suddenly in your head you hear, "I'm too sexy for this shower. Too sexy for this shower." Wait, why'd you say my name?
Sorry,
Unless you're going to come sing with me.
I might take you up it someday, Ragdan.
And you hear a throaty laugh, and then the link breaks again.
Right,
You're too used to being around us when you can simply use the names as needed.
just call him the Emerald.
There you go.
And at the same time, does anyone happen to know his vessel's name? I mainly am looking at Virginia for that.
He has never told me.
I think I might be able to get us in contact with another scourge. Maybe they've heard something about someone powerful enough to summon cyclones.
That'd be good.
And you hear the water shut off upstairs.
Is that level of manipulation of air common amongst your house?
That is basically mastery of air.
At least now. It would not have
At
been
least
before. Right.
Now, before, I mean, what could we not do with air?
True. Before that was paltry.
Right. But now that's going to be, I mean, considering what I can do at this moment without focusing on harnessing my power more, that would have to be like master level. But it leads me to think that that may be the only thing they have going for them. Because if no one's been here for very long, that one wouldn't have had time.
What if it's one of the ones that never came back?
Could be, but I don't know.
I will say you did not feel that odd taint.
I didn't feel the taint at all.
So it's just some asshole trying to get our attention,
Or trying
work for another.
It probably works for the same people we've been fucking up.
I'm disturbed by the variety.
Right? That we'd have more time.
It's the end of days.
That seems hyperbolic.
It's not.
I know need a little time to sit with that. It's
Locusts, frogs, red star in the sky,
Raining blood.
raining blood. It's the end of days.
it can't be, right? Like that's way too convenient. Is that what broke our prison?
I will say, Drulerio, you have suspicions what broke your prison. It wasn't that. You think something happened in the spirit world that caused it to crack. Because you helped create the spirit world. You're one of the ones who did it. Or your house did.
I don't think it's quite that simple.
That's. We'll deal with that at some point.
Can I do sense convergence
Okay. What would you
For
like to do
the
with convergence?
for trying to figure out what the scourge who did the windstorm is likely to do next?
That's a good one, actually. I like that. You're going to roll perception plus intuition.
Do I get danger since he tried to kill us?
Oh, sure. I will let you have that one because, yes, there was danger involved with a cyclone, and you probably want to check to see if there's a convergence of a cyclone opening up over this house.
This power specifically should be in every demon stream because of plot convenience.
Isn't it handy?
Yes.
Wow. That's no successes.
No successes? You try to find a convergence and you don't. I mean, logic tells you he's going to have to report to his master, and that's about it. And you hear somebody coming down the stairs, and Ragdan steps down. He's clean. He's just got the towel wrapped around his waist, though.
Go put clothes on.
You do not like the magnificence that is Ragdan. Fine.
It cleans up all right.
And he goes upstairs, and his body is covered in scars.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of little scars. He's apparently been wounded many, many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes upstairs, and it comes down a minute or two later, and he's wearing clothes. They're haphazard on him. He doesn't seem to like to keep his clothes that straight.
Oh my God, what am I going to do with you? And she gets up and literally straightens his clothes.
And he gets a side look. Ragdan is being mothered by the mother. Now this is interesting.
Thanks, Mom.
I think she's
Appreciate
simply
you.
in the habit from caring for her children.
And then once she's done, she literally takes a finger and boops his nose. And then she turns and sits down.
And he jumps back.
I think that last bit was a curse, Ragdan.
Let me introduce myself. I am Ragdan the Emerald. Third house, Artificer. Though now they call us malefactors. I am the king of all I survey, lord of this world that I helped create.
Synthraziel, the Siren Queen.
Welcome to my court, Synthraziel. You are the one who
my
kept
lord.
saying my name.
I was indeed, my lord.
Well, and you see his eyes go straight down and up your body? Well, if it's going to be spoken, a beautiful woman is always nice.
Of course.
I know him, and I, of course, know Erzeth. Who are the other three? I must know who we are speaking to.
Julie Ariel.
We rescued you. Do we really owe you anything?
Well, you only owe me courtesy. You rescued me because I was doing something for you.
Because I like Arazeth so much. I am Nabas.
We welcome you in our presence, Nabas.
I am Trimdeziel. And as she says that, I want to use my, using good sense of character, I want to do a perception check on him.
Okay.
So what would you have me roll? Perception and what?
Let me see here.
Empathy feels like it fits.
An empathy one does sound pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then can I use insightful for my
Sure.
thing?
And it decreases the difficulty by 2 when you're assessing a demon, so your difficulty will be 4. That is
5
a very
successes.
good use. 5?
Yep.
Going on your gut instincts and your good sense of character. Listening to him, it is clear that though he is, not all of his unhingedness is fake, it's obvious that he has managed to set aside much of what he may have suffered in the abyss. So you can feel, and just looking at him and being around him, you don't get a sense that he's tormented much by his past at all.
Does she get the feeling that this is mostly the persona thing is an act, or is this like some sort of residual from the human?
Both.
Okay.
And maybe a little bit. given your background as a psychiatrist, it is entirely possible that his act is how he keeps his torment low, by humor and acting up. Where should we start? Should we start with how I got caught, or did you want to know what I did out front?
Well, you said you granted us privacy.
Well, there's more than that. The dance, the moves, the feeling of the earth, the understanding the earth under your feet.
Would I have any idea what he did, like in more specifics? No. Okay.
So what was it?
We created everything.
Yes, I know.
I don't know how much you all remember the beginning. I remember some. But I do know. I remember when things were multi-layered. Everything was intricate, complex, not the simplicity. And I have come to realize that sometimes you can feel it, invoke it, and make it sympathetic to what you plan to do. And by doing so, you can make it easier to affect the lore of creation.
Mm.
So what I was doing was learning the earth and the paths that lead here so that I could make it easy to confuse those who follow. You will find sometimes dance works. It is a creative thing as you are creating something. We claim we created much, but did we really? The Maker, he charged us with a purpose, and our purpose was predefined. But these children of the All-Mother and All-Father, they had real creation. And by dance, I can create a link. Some I've heard use music. Some I heard use hand motions. But whatever it is, they create a sympathetic link with what they're doing to creation itself. You can learn given practice.
Interesting. Well, thank you, friend, for that.
Well, I am nothing but generous when I have been saved.
So, why did they pin you down in the scrapyard?
I was investigating. As you mentioned, you were on the trail of the kidnappers, and I had mentioned I had sensed odd things, odd feelings of wrongness. I was tracing the source of the wrongness. Learning what I could of it, following those who had the stink of it on them. I have learned much. Would you like to know?
Of course.
Oh, I was hoping you'd ask me that's why I looked like this in the...
Of course,
I was trying to
Ragdan
appear...
the Emerald.
If we look up at the ceiling, is it just like the corner that he's staring at or something? Yeah. Like nothing in particular?
Nothing in particular.
Okay.
My lord, if you would grace us with your magnificent and brilliant intellect, we would be most appreciative.
You are very polite. May I ask which house you were?
I was, and I suppose in a way still am, of the first.
The leaders, the captains, the generals, your politeness and your discourse pays great honor to your house.
Why, thank you, my lord.
I found who this one once was. They are not who they were. They were known as Tragoth.
I just roll legacy, or is it intelligence legacy?
That somebody has heard that name. Somebody at this table. That was a name that was brought up as a missing demon in the city.
That's right.
You said their name was Tragoth, and is that who we was in the...
No, I don't know who that ruffian, that lout was. But I do know who the taint is following.
Wait, so do you know what happened to Tragoth? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, Tragoth is no longer Tragoth. Tragoth is something else. Tragoth is the source of some of this taint. They've become something different. And while we have our names, you do know our names can shift, can change based on what you become.
Yes.
I can say that name safely because they are no longer Tragoth.
Who are they?
Something else. What I've figured out, the closest I can come, I believe they lost their body.
So their mortal form was destroyed.
But they did not go back to the abyss.
What?
Then where did they go? Into one of their thralls?
No.
We've seen others go into, or we've heard of others going into objects.
That would explain how they stay. That would explain this. And he actually touches a ring on his finger that...
I will also point at him just to get his attention and mention the old practice of, soul binding and stuff that we used to do back in the war.
And the ring he points at is actually, it's pull tabs of beer cans that he's turned into a ring. That explains what this tells me.
What does that tell you, my Lord Ragdan?
That they are still here, but in a different form. I have attuned this to them, you see.
Impressive. The wonder of the builders will never cease to amaze.
I wondered why a path could not be found, because I was looking, thinking they had a new body. Learned a lot.
How can they bind themselves to objects? Surely, when I took my body, I felt the spark of humanity, and that pulled me to it. How can you be pulled or infest something that doesn't have that?
Well, as Carsador said, we used to put souls in objects.
Yes, but that's through a ritual, right? That's not something you can just do.
Or
Back
did you
then
yank them out and thrust them in an object?
No,
Back
I did
then,
not do
I
that.
feel we could have done many more things than we can do now. So I would assume it is dealer's choice.
When you think about this, back before the fall, and even during the war, before our imprisonment that made us so much less, no object could contain what we were. Our very divine essence would break anything that we tried to put ourselves in.
Usually violently.
But we're diminished.
We are diminished now. I think if an object was suitably the same as this sympathy, this resonance, if the object resonated with the fallen, the same as I made my lore of creation easier, I wonder, could they not do the same? If it resonated with them, could it contain them?
I'm certain in some facet we all remember the desperation of taking these. Imagine how desperate you'd have to be if nothing like that was available.
Right.
If this Tragoth is the one behind this taint I've been searching for, they have not maintained what we were. They are no longer divine to me. They are an abomination.
Corrupted. Rotted.
And though we all fell for our own reasons, ultimately, we thought what we did was right. And there is nothing right about this taint I feel, this corruption.
It shouldn't be. It's like antimatter. It doesn't make sense.
Antimatter.
In ways, it almost feels worse than where we were locked away.
I am going to bestow a gift upon you all. You may all thank me for this gift. And he actually pulls that ring off his finger. This is attuned to the one you seek. This is attuned to Tragoth, or what remains of Tragoth. If we knew more of it, we could feel it from a further distance. But this will tell you when you're close to their servants or to wherever they are. And he hands the ring and just holds it in his hand. And it is literally pull tabs from a beer can that he's crafted into a ring.
Sure.
Carsador?
Yeah, that's might be better for you since you can make paths.
I'll reach out and take it. I'll actually observe it if I can, just because a creation's a creation.
It is a minor relic of, it's got power in it. It's vested with a purpose.
Does it have jagged edges, or is it like...
Oh, it's got sharp edges a little bit on it, but it's obvious that he made it by hand, which some of the best items are made by hand.
And I'm guessing, if I'm looking at it enough, I don't have any craft, so I don't know exactly how I'd roll this, but can I tell if it was made like as a rush job or if he did it with care?
You can do perception awareness
Okay.
because that's how you sense a lot of things.
Three.
Your guess is it took some time for him to make. It was not done rushed. And you suspect, given that, he said that he had that he, searching for the ones doing the kidnapping, you think he started this before you all were aware of the kidnappings.
What finger did he have it on?
His pinky.
I'll do the same, non-dominant left hand.
Okay, and it slips on. You don't think it'll fit, but it does. You don't know why, but it fits.
My, look at that royal piece of jewelry you've got there, Carsador. Really moving up.
I think it is dashing. Ragdan, the Emerald, Lord of all I survey, have now made you my seeker.
I can accept that.
What an honor, Carsador.
Arazeth, you must bring these friends to me more often. Aside from the suspicious one over here, the rest of them have been very nice and very generous, and I will allow them to be in our presence.
I'll think about it.
And he actually gets this odd look on his face, and he actually looks over at Synthraziel. And it's obvious, with the eyebrow wiggle.
Let me know if you two need any healing.
My partners usually need healing more than me.
If this is what you suspect, or I suspect, or what I like that, royal we suspect, Tragoth will be weak. They can't have maintained all of their power without a human host to hold it in.
Yes, I believe he was ensuring that people were captured and forced into worship, as it were, because I destroyed a room full of them, channeling their faith under the city.
No, see, that is odd. We do not need, actually, we can't force those
Things
to
like
give us faith. A pact made by forcing is not a pact. They must mean it when they offer the pact.
We know
There's
we can all
always
be pretty
reaping.
damn convincing.
They didn't look like they needed convincing, though. They were brain dead.
They were completely entranced.
So tell me the specifics. Let me wrap.
And she runs through the specifics.
And if they were gathering faith, why the elaborate ritual? Why would that be needed? We do not need that. We get our faith with the rising of the sun of each day.
I think they were going to sacrifice the girl.
Probably.
But you said there was a sense of trickle of faith going from them to somewhere else. They were harvesting that faith.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems
And it was
inefficient.
ramping up.
But it seems very inefficient.
Well, of course
Could
it
they be
is.
summoning something? Using
Could
that
be.
faith to summon something else here?
Or what if the reason we gather faith so well is because of this that we stand in, the bodies we took, the bodies we stole.
Exactly.
And if they don't have one, it's harder.
Or impossible.
We need to find it in different ways.
That would make
So
sense.
good.
Having faith in objects and idols is not new for humanity, but to have enough that
But they
something
have more
residing in
faith
it.
in themselves and those like them.
It would be, from what you describe, it would be attempting to drain a river with a straw.
Exactly.
More straws,
Fine.
easier it is.
Yes, this makes sense. I've learned a lot. Ragdan thanks you for this knowledge. We are humbled by your sharing of it. If you wish to help find them, to look for them as I've requested, as my seeker is now tasked, look to the south side. The gang members, those I recognize as I live on the streets, they were the South Side orphans. If they are serving Tragot, they will come from there.
Is that the gang that attacked us? Southside Orphans?
Oh, yes, I recognize them.
We'll handle it.
Very good. And
I will make sure that I have your clothes cleaned and ready for you to pick up at your convenience.
these are not a gift for me?
Those are a gift for you. You can keep them.
Then I will keep them.
And the ones you wore will be cleaned and ready for you to pick up whenever you're ready.
Good. Thank you for that.
And when you need a shower, Ragdan, just swing by.
But the dirt is holy. It is of the earth.
I know, but after a while, you get really stinky.
Carsador, explain to her how we feel about the earth.
The earth is fine, but the overly butchered and processed bone that has been turned into such as gasoline, exhaust, petroleum,
It sticks to you.
and it is not of the earth.
Humanity never
you
did
would be-
learn.
You would be better served covering yourself in metal shavings.
Or perhaps a stick or two of deodorant.
That is true. The human body seems to produce moisture, which is quite annoying for us.
That I blame on the second house.
You may lay it at their feet, Lord Ragdan.
Why not? We get blamed for everything else.
I think it's all a communal effort.
And he gets a very serious look on his face all of a sudden. For one as the mother, you should be very careful when you accuse others of blame.
I didn't accuse. I just said that my house gets blamed a lot.
Well, Lord Ragdan must be going. This house is safe
Thank you.
for 24 hours.
You are most gracious, Lord Ragdan.
I am, aren't I? That is what makes me Ragdan the Emerald, Ragdan the Magnificent, Ragdan the Humble. And he
May
turns and just shuffles out the door. Don't even look back, just shuffles. Yes, Carsador.
May I catch him as he's like at the door? Just whisper something in his ear
Sure.
real quick. When you have time, I would like to learn those movements.
When you have completed your task, Seeker, come and present yourself to me in supplication, and I shall teach.
I hold out my hand.
And he actually sticks his hand out, and he sticks out like a ring on his finger.
I just take it like a handshake, shake, and let go.
And he grins a bit and then turns and exits the room. And I turn this over to the players after this interesting batch of knowledge they got for
Vivian
the final scene of the episode.
starts laughing.
I will turn back to the group. I like him.
Oh, he is certainly something.
Alice, do not take his disdain personally. It is hard for something grounded to interact with something above.
I mean, I don't take it personal. I just think he's absurd. And I
That
don't
is
feel
also
like I
true.
should listen to it, his general ramblings, but he does have some knowledge. I can respect that, but I'm going to have to respect him.
Entirely fair. I simply wish to clarify.
But she actually wants. Sorry, Kathleen is actually going to say something in response to what Alice said, but she wants to do a perception empathy on her real quick.
Dun, dun, dun.
3 successes.
Do you wish to roll against her, Alice?
Yeah, what am I rolling?
You're going to roll, let's...
So I have 2 things. I can do expression or performance.
I think expression is a
acting.
good one.
Manipulation expression if you're hiding shit.
Yeah, that sounds right to me as well. Manipulation expression.
With specialty in improv.
No, that's not going to be hiding that one. That's good for making shit up on the fly, though.
I dropped the dice.
Don't use that one.
Tainted.
We'll use a willpower.
Okay. To give you 1 success?
Yep.
Okay. And hopefully you didn't get a bunch of 1s to cancel all your good shit out.
4 successes.
Oh, then you didn't read anything, Kathleen.
Look, he is doing that to protect himself. It's all in how we handle what we've dealt with. So, and he is handling it how he sees fit to handle it.
I let him do his thing. I'm just might be a little standoffish about it.
That's
He
fine.
can do him. It's interesting how he processes things. Not quite how I would do it. Not how I do process stuff. But if it works for him, it works for him. I question how much it works for him, though.
Who knows?
From what I gleaned, rather well. Even if it is grating for those around him. I'm going to excuse myself. I need to make a call. So,
Of course. I'll be contacting an individual of mine as well, that Scourge friend I mentioned. But my goodness, I needed a good laugh today, and he provided in earnest. So I can't be too mad.
Eccentricity is not uncommon amongst us, but his particular flavor is distinct.
So who are you calling, Kathleen?
she's going to make a call to Rivka. I don't know. Sorry. The Devourer contact that told her
Okay.
about Tragoth.
Mm-hmm. Rivka,
Yeah.
Master of the Vine.
Yep.
Trimdeziel. How goes
I-
things?
I have news about your friend. Don't go looking for him. They are gone, corrupted beyond where we can rescue them, as it were. At least that's the lead we have right now. So I don't want you getting hurt or pulled into the same situation.
Trigoth is gone, or Trigoth is gone.
Yes. Well, the information we were given is they are still here, but they have taken on a different form and it's more malicious, as it were. They are not the individual you knew before, and I don't want you to get hurt chasing after them still. But you should do something to protect yourself because they know about you, so they can come after you at any time.
And another companion has fallen. Thank you for this.
You're welcome. I'm sorry for the dour news, but I wanted to warn you.
And we will continue to pay for what we did. It's obvious now. We must still make amends. We must patch this up so that the pain can stop.
Just take care of yourself. And Trimdeziel breaks the line
Okay.
with that.
And you had somebody you were going to contact, Synthrazio?
I did indeed. I was going to contact my Scourge compatriot, Sylvanas.
And when you get with, you reach out to Sylvanas, there's a response. Well, this was unexpected. You finally going to take me up on my offer, Synthrazio? You know I can help you with that drug problem you have.
Perhaps another time, Sylvanas.
Well, then maybe you'll take me up on my other offer. Are you ready to come back into the fold? You can...
This is more of an information call, Sylvanas.
Oh, I was hoping to get you convinced to once again take your place in the Legion.
I know. We may have more spirited debate when I have a little more free time.
You always say you don't have free time. That is why I'm surprised you're contacting me. But obviously you have a reason.
Yes, my reason pertains to the... I'm not sure if you've heard yet. It's only been an hour or two. The massive cyclone that appeared over the scrapyard, not 20 blocks from you.
I saw it on the news. Freak weather.
Oh, yes, freak weather.
Yes, I don't think it was as freak as they claim.
Somebody has great command over wind. Do you know any other of your house that might have that kind of power?
Oh, many of us had that power. I'll be fair, I'm not one that kept track of which of us came and which of us are here yet. I'm shocked to have even found you. Not aware of any that have come here that would have that power yet. It seems I haven't seen any scourges lately.
That's odd.
Well, many of them turned their back on the Morning Star's calls. And so, let's just say that I have a reputation. I am still loyal to my Legion. I am still a soldier, ready to pick up the fight again against the Heavenly Host, if we can find our commander.
I know. Just let me know if you get any other catastrophic uses of wind picked up. I'll probably head back later, see if I can get any trace of them.
I didn't see heard anything about catastrophic. But I did have one of my patients treating him for meth addiction. The discussion he had with me was there was some sort of twisting in the south side of coins falling on end.
Outside of Queen.
What did he say was the other parts of it? It was so odd. Trash can was spinning on its edge like a top perfectly balanced. Odd twists.
That is rather unusual. Huh. Well, that might help. Thank you, Sylvanas.
Well, anything for one who needs to come back into the fold and join our Legion again. You know, when the Morning Star returns, and he will return, he will command you to return to your position.
Maybe. We'll deal with that if he returns. For now, thank you for the information, and we can have that spirited debate soon.
I look forward to it. And we can also talk about your drug addiction problem.
Of course. We can also talk about my drug addiction problem.
Perfect. And then he breaks the connection.
All right, I'll head back into the house and relay that little bit of information. Looks like there's some odd things going on the south side of Queens. Apparently, somebody saw something very odd, that a trash can that had spun.
Well, not Queens. It's the south side of Chicago.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought he said the south side of Queens.
Nope.
A trash can spun on its edge like a top, which is highly unusual. Some sort of gravity control, maybe? Something like that? Some sort of haywire or something?
Wind control.
Wind control. So, that definitely confirms where we're headed next, I guess.
May I test a theory before we all divide and conquer?
Please.
Who amongst us has the best previous memory?
I would
There
say
isn't much
Ragdan.
I've forgotten.
Then I'm going to ask you something, and I'm sorry for what it might bring up.
Oh boy.
Do you remember when the cracks appeared? And how? What did you see, if anything?
Is that just a lore roll or is that intelligence lore
That will be Intelligence Legacy.
or legacy?
Mm-hmm.
We were mentioning when it cracked. I can't recall how it happened.
That is 7 successes. I got successes on every
God
single
damn.
die.
Okay, I'm telling you what you remember.
Okay.
As you all see, her eyes blank as she slips into her own memory.
I remember feeling so much. Like waves of emotion. And there was this loud noise and bright flash of light. But I felt so much. So many emotions, even ones I had never felt before. And there was this. I could see through the cracks this wicked storm. Like things that we sent upon the earth ourselves, but worse. It was twisting and churning, blood, sand, glass, debris, water, over and over and over, and it was, from what I could tell, it just encompassed everything on the other side. That's when the cracks appeared.
Truly, Rael. You said earlier that whatever caused it wasn't so simple. What did you mean?
I just meant that what Vivian had put forth was not necessarily what I believe to have been the cause.
And you can check your Zoom there, Mars.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't hear anything but the sound of the storm. And after the loud, I mean, it was the loudest boom I had ever heard. And then I just heard the storm. The wind. Oh my God. More wind than I had ever been able to command.
It is very weird. Spirit world shouldn't have had storms.
So that's not the seventh's design either. Do we have any theories of what could have caused such a catastrophe?
No idea. I remember the cracks, but I don't remember them appearing.
I don't even remember that. I remember escaping.
I don't know how long they were there before I noticed.
I reported them to the Duke.
Thank you. That got us out of there.
Thanks, Ariseth.
From Desiel, there's nothing from your house that could cause storms like that, is there?
No, not that I'm aware of. But my memory isn't as good, but that was never necessarily my forte, as it were. So I just don't see how it could have been anybody from my house.
Also, there were substances that were not water. Sand would be something one of mine could do.
It
But
could have been a combination. Wind from the scourges, sand, fiends opening portals, slayers in their domain of the spirit world. It could have been a joint effort.
If it was an
To what
effort,
end?
wouldn't we have heard from the demons who did it?
If they were on our side, maybe. But if they were on the outside trying to get in,
Who would go back to that place?
not to get in, to like let us out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, whatever it is, it's still there.
I hate working in a vacuum.
No command over the forces of death. If anyone can answer this, it will be Druliriel. But if you don't know, then we can't. I don't know that we can.
I don't know why it's there or how it got there. I mean, I could do some research and see if I can find out anything.
Do you know of any other members of your house that might be able to provide different insight? And actually, I'll look at everyone for that, just to double check if anyone else knows a Slayer.
I personally don't know another Slayer.
The only thing I could think of potentially doing is trying to see if somehow the patterns connect with something we have here back to the cracks, back to any of it. Probably difficult to do, but it's an idea.
Well, we believe in you.
So are you going to attempt a sense congruence?
I think so.
Perception plus intuition, please. Difficulty is 6.
I'm going to use a willpower on that one.
You have to
Wait,
use
no,
a
that's
faith.
a faith. Faith.
Mhm.
Faith.
Earn
Sorry,
one
I
faith.
misspoke.
as you invoke the powers of creation itself and force your faith to make sure it goes off. And in
For those in the
perception, intuition.
For those in the chat with meta knowledge,
Mhm.
Does danger apply for that?
No.
I disagree, but all right.
She doesn't know what she's going to find to know it's dangerous yet.
Oh boy,
That I can accept.
this will go great.
That is 3 successes.
3 successes as you look at the patterns of creation and the flow of the universe. You look, and in your mind, you can see the prison that you were once in. And as you're watching, you know that the cracks are larger. And they will continue to get larger. And right here, with that knowledge, is where I am going to end Season 1, Episode 8 of Demon: The Road to Hell. As this choir of fallen angels is now wondering how they got free. What they don't know yet is that it was the folly of man and their spirits that detonated Fat Man and Little Boy in the spirit world, one of which was detonated not far from their prison, at the heart of the maelstrom itself, the heart and entrance of the labyrinth, which caused your prisons to crack and has caused a storm that never ends, the 6th great maelstrom, to sweep over the land of the spirit. And I'd like to thank my players, of course, and the viewers there. Yes, they detonated the A-bombs, the spirits did. One to destroy a city, one in a hope to destroy the labyrinth. And the two combined cracked a prison that was not to be cracked. That was not to die. It was supposed to endure forever. But it did not. Because man's ability will always outstretch their own reason and their ability to prevent themselves from doing something stupid. So, we're going to go around the table tonight. We're going to go counterclockwise, but I'm going to start with Synthraziel because Synthraziel was not here last week. So, Synthraziel, what did you learn tonight?
Okay, we've got a lot. We've got another Scourge capable of some crazy wind mastery who was using Ragdan as bait. Ragdan, pretty cool guy, very goofy, like him a lot. Enjoy playing to his strengths to get a little more out of him. We now have a way to detect probably the corruption, and we have a name to put to that corruption, Tregoth. Tremdesiel has taken well to her human's roots and is soothing in a way that a lot of demons would be incapable of, a lot of humans would be incapable of. And yeah, so it's been a day.
So that's good things to have learned there. Now we go to Nabas. What did you learn?
I learned that A, I could see the cells if I wanted to. Did not know that. And B, that the gaps are getting bigger.
That should scare. Now you know that is danger. Because if the cracks are getting bigger, that means more powerful demons can escape as time goes forward. Eventually, what will happen when the prison totally fails? Tremdesiel, what did you learn?
I learned that we're all fucked up a little bit, and some of us more than others, but also we're all dealing with it in the way we feel best to deal with it. Ragdan is got his whole court thing going on, and Synthraziel, escapes into drugs and different things. So she feels like there's something off about Nabas, but she doesn't have a for real reading, so she's doesn't know there. But yeah, we're all dealing with things in our own way.
So now we go to Drew Lariel. What did you learn?
That even being as rather, I'm so used to being kind of like unnoticed that it was definitely a shock to be shot first.
That is an interesting point, because you are of the last house, and though it's hard to outwardly know, there's still that little bit that, whether you realize it or not, that many always overlooked the last house, always discounted them, though that is an advantage in some ways other than when you got shot, because those who discount a potential foe generally end up in bad shit from it later. Carsador, what did you learn?
Well, first I learned what dread feels like. And also I learned that I miss creating. That was a surprise to everyone.
Including you. And Arizeth, what did you learn?
That Ragdan's a dick.
He is a bit of a dick. He's an entertaining dick, but a bad dick.
The bane of the third house, the malefactors, is they've never been able to properly understand how to interact with others.
Yeah, well, he's a dick. And he's pissed off his one fucking friend in the city. So you know what?
They've always had, especially once they've got bodies, they don't know how to, their people skills are lacking.
Yeah.
Listen, I can get him in my DMs, no problem, okay? We're
I
good.
know you can, but you know what? You take that sloppy mess. You go right for it.
I was about to say, just know you are getting down with something that is probably made of dust, debris, and rock.
Yeah.
Not my worst.
Okay, damn. So everyone learned something, so that makes everybody get a third XP. And now we're going to go for the player vote, and we will start with Vivian this time. And the player vote, Evie Eternal there, we're going to go around clockwise this time. So who do you vote for the player vote?
Oh, God. Oh, this was actually a really good one. I really like Carsador this episode. I like Carsador a lot. I like his powers. I like his objectivity. I like that he's very matter of fact, and I like when he actually injects some real good emotion into it. I really felt when he fucking sat there and he's just like, I miss creation. And that really, I was just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, baby.
So you vote for Carsador. Arizeth, or Virginia in this case, Mama McStabber there. Who do you vote for?
I'm gonna go with Carsador.
Well, shucks. Thank you both.
2 votes for Carsador. Maddox?
It'd be rude to vote for myself, so I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to vote for Nebas. Not so much for anything you did, although what you did was excellent, especially, oh my God, that end. But what you didn't do. You were trying so hard to not let the sort of grief and guilt that I'm sure in some ways you are very much feeling show, and also having to do someone who stuffs their emotions instead of dealing with them. It was just really impressive to see. So my vote's for Nebas.
Okay. Now we come to Mischievous Red, your player vote.
Okay, I want to split it. I want to do Carsador, just because as a character, he's just so good, and like you can't predict what he's gonna do, but what he does makes sense for who he is as a character. And then I'd also say the same thing for Centrazio with just like the whole buttering up Ragdan and like truly trying to appease him. It's also like with Centrazio, it's unclear if it's because like she wants to get some, or if she's really just trying to be nice or like to like make him on her side and like sway him. So I think that duality adds like a nice bit of touch to it.
And it's pretty funny with Centrazio, you can't tell which one it is.
Why not both?
I mean,
Often both.
that's true. The Ivy Raven.
I'm just gonna vote for Centrazio. I really appreciated the scene at the start of the episode, and I know while Kathleen doesn't really give a shit about indulging Ragdan's thing, she did a good job also of kind of doing the whole like indulging Ragdan's thing. So yeah.
Okay, and then finally, Unconscious Celestial.
Yeah, I wanted to tie it between Vivian and Kathleen as well for the beginning scene.
Okay. So the player vote goes to Vivian and Clark, Centrazio and Carsador. And I am, as storyteller, going to give one to Drillariel because the seventh house had a ingrained inner part of them that always made them defer when in the presence of higher houses. And Drillariel has been playing quite well when interacting with non-members of her choir. She has done what a Slayer would always do, which is kept silent and stayed in the back. And I love that she's showing the habits that were, I could say beat into her, but were part of her very creation. So Carsador, Centrazio, and Drillariel get the 4th XP this episode.
Drulio behaving
Thank
that
you.
way also makes perfect sense. Death is incredibly patient.
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely. I do love when it's like, it's almost like a mirror. It's like, oh, you want to put attention? No, over here. No,
They
over here.
were never comfortable with being the focus of attention.
Don't give it to me. You'll know when I need attention.
Humans never even saw them until they died. They were always the watchers and they loved their people from afar. So now that we've done the player vote, of course, join us on our Discord, everybody, because that is where we talk about this show. That is where this cast came from, was from our Discord, of course. We cast all of our shows from there. We try to do hangouts with members of the community. We've had some spoon issues here the last week, so we didn't get to do one this week, but we'll definitely see what we can do about doing one coming up. But yeah, let me say that the Discord's a good place to be. So pop over to our Discord, join us over there. If you want to catch our back episodes, not just of this show, but of all of our World of Darkness stuff we have, because holy shit, we have a lot of World of Darkness. We have vampire, werewolf, mage, changeling. We've even got a changeling on there. And we've got non-World of Darkness. R'lyn there ran Bluebeard's Bride, which was fucking awesome. We had Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which was fucking awesome. Paranoia's in there. Monster Hearts, which I haven't had anyone complain about the Monster Hearts stream yet because that was so good to watch. So pop over and watch those. If you want to watch D&D or Call of Cthulhu, you got to pop to Ishval. So that's what that is. You want to catch some amazing content creators, check out our friends here. One of which, Nabas down there, that's Mischievous Red, and of course, the Ivy Raven, which is Trimdeziel. They stream on their own channel from time to time, and while they don't do normally role-playing games on theirs, you can talk to them about role-playing games. I know they'll love to talk about it, and you can get a little bit of that Ivy Raven snark, or you can watch Mischievous Red there scream and jump at jump scares in horror games, because she admits it. She gets kind of jumpy with that. So pop over and see that. You want to get you some merch? Get you some McStabber Studios merch. I'm not sure we have any demon merch yet, but I'm sure at some point we'll come up with some. And so you all know, bits and donations, those go to the players, not to the studio. If you want to give something to the players for their role play and the work that they put into being in the stream, that's what bits and donations are for. And if you want to support the studio, of course, you have to subscribe here on Twitch or pop over to our Ko-fi. That's just a way to support the studio. But the players, please don't give money to the studios or the players if it will put you in a financial position of bad position. Because guess what? We got inflation and everybody's having it rough right now. So don't hurt yourself. We're doing this because we enjoy it. The money is just a bonus if we get any. So I think that covers all of my parts. And I can turn it over to my wife for our rather busy schedule again this week.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the 8th episode of Season 1 of Demon, the Fallen, The Road to Hell. And coming up over the next week, goodness, what day is it? Okay. Today is Tuesday.
Oh, God, it's Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Okay, so coming up over the next week, we have on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Dune, Blood-Soaked Sands, using the Motifus D20 Dune system. That is run by Ravnos Archon. It has myself and Shanky in it as players with Juni Von Esch and Alexian Skylark. So join us for intrigue, political intrigue. We just got freaking ambushed on the planet by unmarked fucking soldiers. So you know what? Yeah, shit's about to go down on Arrakis.
And atomics. They used atomics.
And atomics, yeah, basically atomic bombs on the planet. So we're getting knee deep in it, y'all, for real. So join us Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's not even that far into the season yet.
We up to episode 4, I think?
I think it's 3 or 4 at this point. I've lost count already because I'm in too many damn games. But anyway, that's Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then on Saturday, we have Call of Cthulhu, 7E, London Esoteric Society. It is set in Victorian Age London. Our investigators check out sus-ass cult shit, and it's all insanity-inducing, and it is a fun damn romp as they have horrible luck and get loads of insanity and nearly have breakdowns and summon elder beings that should not be summoned. So join them at 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday for that. And then on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have Windy City After Dark, Season 7, Episode 7.
Yeah.
Have no idea what we're doing, because we haven't recorded yet. We record that on Thursday for streaming on Sunday so that chat can interact directly with the players while it's streaming. But join us at 5 p.m. Eastern. We just had a visit from Ravnos Archon playing Franklin Crown, the Hermetic Mage, giving us lots of sus-ass shit to follow up. So, yeah, it's craziness.
Dismemberments,
Lots of cult shit last episode.
Shit. And Jackie does a booty call at the end.
And Jackie did a booty call and got her fang bang on.
When Maddox says he was feeling dread, my first thought was, so was Jackie.
So was Jackie.
Yeah. Different types of dread.
And different feelings.
She had a very good time. But
one's way hunkier.
But yeah, so that's Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then on Monday, we have the third and final session of Kids on Bikes, run by Ravnos Archon with players Lanhi and Revbin Powers. This has been a 3-part miniseries of Kids on Bikes. They're taking place in Ewards Hollow, which is a fictional island town in Massachusetts. Taking place through the 80s to the early 90s. The first session was them as kids dealing with horrifying fucking shit in this town. And then the second was them dealing with more horrifying shit as teenagers. Now it's going to skip ahead to 1992 this coming Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where they are dealing with the final horrible shit of this town. They have become witch killers. They've killed 2.
It's going to be another witch.
I think it's going to be a third witch. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's literally one of the characters got like stabbed in the gut and almost bled out. So
Yeah.
the stakes are high in this game.
They're playing which is which.
Yeah. So tune into that on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then on Tuesday, we are back here for episode 9 out of 10 of the first season of Demon the Fallen. We are getting close to the end of season for the first season of Demon the Fallen. But don't worry, we will be back for a second season. But join us Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for our next installment.
And 2 episodes left, everybody, before we hit the end of the season. Who will survive? Ragdan, maybe. Depends. Virginia's not happy with him, or Airzet's not happy with him. She might have to chase him down, try to give him a little cancer. Who knows? But as always, when we end these streams, everybody, please take your mental health seriously. Please check in on those around you, because a lot of people are not okay, and a lot of people are struggling right now mentally. And be a lifeline, be somebody that, reaches out and checks in to make sure that people are okay, because right now people need that. And if you suffer from mental health issues, like many of us do, myself included, I think a number of this table deal with this stuff. And first of all, it's okay to not be okay. There's nothing wrong. There's no shame in admitting that you need help once in a while and that you're not okay right now. But if you don't feel you can talk to those around you and you don't have that support system in place, because a lot of people don't. In chat right now is a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We even have the updated National Suicide Prevention Hotline, because that changed recently. And we have that updated in there as well. And please, it's mental health is health. So we want people to do what they have to do, and take some time if you need to for self-care. Self-care means do it for you, not for somebody else. So take that time for self-care. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't feel ashamed that you need to take some self-care, because, we're in it together. No one should have to bear it alone. And now I can turn it over to my wife for her final outro moments.
I'm going to bounce off of that and let you know about certain perks that most people don't utilize, because they don't realize exactly what all is available to them through the perks. If you work for a company that provides an employee assistance program, they provide lots of things for you, not just, basically resources to be referred to for any kind of needs for mental health, but they can actually provide counseling. Not just for you as the employee, but also your spouse, your dependent children. All of them can get the help they need through your employee assistance program. And on top of that, they also offer additional benefits depending on what type of program your employer has set up, where you can get financial advice, you can get all kinds of things. So whatever you're struggling with, check out your employee assistance program. If you have access to one, or if your spouse has one, you can access that as well and find out what they offer for you. It's free. The company pays for it. It's confidential. The company doesn't find out what you're getting help with. They just get a utilization report stating how many people have been using it. And trust me, not enough people use that. Not enough. So it's there. Use that company's money that they're paying for this service and get those services that you have earned. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm a registered nurse. Everybody's got something mentally going on with them. I have yet to see a patient that didn't have some kind of mental health thing going on, whether it's just right there in the moment or if it's long-term and chronic. Everyone's got something, and we all need help sometimes. We like to think that we can take care of it on our own, but we can't sometimes. We really can't, because if left to our own devices, we will wallow in that shit and it spirals downward from there. So please get help. And as a nurse, I'm going to tell you, get your fucking vaccines. Get your COVID shots, get your boosters, get your other vaccines. Make sure they're up to date, because, things like polio are back around. So yeah, please, get your damn shots. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Please. And reproductive health and abortion is health care. And people with uteruses need to have more autonomy than a corpse. And they don't, according to our Supreme Court and many states. Now, when 10-year-old rape victims have to go across state lines to get an abortion because their state says, nah, 10-year-old.
And then a dickhead attorney general in the other state wants to press charges against the doctor.
Yeah. That's some bullshit. When a woman nearly bleeds out from an ectopic pregnancy because the doctor found a fetal heart rate and was worried that he'd get in trouble for terminating the pregnancy. That shit's fucked up. Abortion is healthcare.
And trans rights and LGBTQIA rights are human fucking rights.
Yep. And I'm sorry, but if anybody don't agree with that, they can fuck right the hell off.
They are human beings like the rest of us, and their rights are the same rights as everybody's rights. And of course,
I'm sorry, but there needs to be more attention on the fact that Indigenous women are going missing and murdered at alarming fucking rates.
And as we've said lately, fuck Putin. Not done saying that. And finally, in a world of Satine Phoenixes and Jameson Stones, please, everybody, be Mr. Rogers. Be a good neighbor. Don't be an abuser. Our hobby does not need abusers. We do not need toxic individuals in the community. So don't be like Satine and Jameson. Actually, be decent fucking people, please.
Yeah, they're hot garbage.
Yeah. And I'll say it. Call them by name. So good night, everybody, and we'll hope to see you next time. Good night.